served as the president, as the prime minister, and so he comes with a long background in government service, and we're absolutely thrilled he's here, and he really understands the importance of diversification in the economy. So from the Democratic Republic of Timor-Leste, Xanana Gusmão. His Excellency, please join us.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, wassalamu alaikum. Good morning to everybody. It is a great pleasure to be here in Abu Dhabi to tell the story of our nation and discuss what ways that resource-rich countries can diversify their economies. It is inspiring to have this discussion in Abu Dhabi, a place that has been so transformed, cleverly using the resources blessed upon it to build a thriving and a beautiful city out of the desert. This discussion comes at a critical moment when countries around the world are struggling to meet the challenges of modernity, providing for a young and booming population and creating robust and sustainable economies. This is especially challenging for countries blessed with energy riches, who are seeking to escape the resource curse and building the bridge from petroleum to prosperity. I know this issue is hotly discussed in the Middle East, but let me assure you, it is an issue that resonates around the globe. It is, in fact, an existential challenge for Asia's youngest country and young democracy, Timor-Leste. Timor-Leste is a small Alpha Island nation that sits between two regional giants. We are situated within the world's largest archipelago, Indonesia, with its wealth of natural resources and over 250 million people, including being the world's largest Muslim population. Indonesia is fast becoming one of the world's great economies. And to our south, we have Australia, with its mature and modern economy. While Australia was built on the back of its natural resources, it has already successfully diversified with a large and highly skilled service sector. And so, while Timor-Leste is fortunate to be located in East Asia, in the crossroad of Indic and Pacific, one of the most dynamic regions on the planet, we must learn how to make the most of this opportunity and create a strong economic foundation for our future. The Timorese people have had a difficult past. They endured 500 years of Portuguese colonization, followed by 24 years of brutal foreign occupation. After a long and bloody resistance, Timor-Leste regained its independence in 2002. But the independence came at a high price. Like most post-conflict countries, our early years of independence were difficult. It took time to pick ourselves up and focus on creating peace and building an effective state. But we are resilient, and we slowly began to establish an open economy and a vibrant democracy. Timor-Leste is now considered a leader among fragile, in conflict, post-conflict and developing countries through our leadership of an organization called, I believe you don't know, G7+, G7+, a group of 20 countries from the Caribbean to the Middle East, from Africa to the Pacific, who aim to help each other build strong states, fundamental to peace and development. While our people are still poor, Timor-Leste is relatively rich in natural resources, including oil and gas reserves, both in our seas and on our shores. It is this wealth that we must use to develop our country. A priority for the first government of Timor-Leste, following our independence, was to create institutions that would earn our people's trust. One of our best decisions was to establish a sovereign wealth fund. The mandate of our petroleum fund is to manage our energy resources transparently and sustainably for the benefit of all citizens and future generations. Based on Norway's model, every dollar from our petroleum resources goes into the fund, which has grown from its opening balance of 205 million in 2005 to over 16 billion today. This is after already spending more than 10 billion in our annual budgets. Timor-Leste is committed to openness and to the good governance of this fund, and we were proud to be the first nation in the Asia-Pacific region to become compliant with the EITI, Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative. We invest 60% in bonds and 40% in equities, and this has generated, after 5 to 6 years, more than $4 billion in returns. It is these funds that allow us to build our basic infrastructure, schools, hospitals, and to provide, of course, other services to our people. Timor-Leste is now fortunate that we will soon be unlocking the potential of one of our largest and yet untapped gas field known as Great Sunrise. We are able to do this due to an agreement with our neighbor, Australia, through the first ever Conciliation Commission initiated by Timor-Leste under the United Nations Convention of the Law of the Sea. Through the Conciliation Commission, we have been able to reach a landmark agreement on a treaty for maritime boundaries between our two nations and a pathway for the development of Great Sunrise. In a world where maritime boundary disputes are causing rising tensions and global uncertainty, we have proven that the Conciliation Commission provisions of the United Nations can be a vehicle for the peaceful and cooperative resolution of even seemingly intractable disputes. Now, exploitation of the Great Sunrise Field will be able to fuel the economic and social development of our almost, next May, our 16 years old country. Ladies and gentlemen, as one of the world's newest nations, we have been able to learn from the successes and failures of others. We are very aware of the pitfalls from over-reliance. With those challenges in mind, in 2010, we started to prepare a 20-year strategic development plan, which was approved by our national parliament in 2011. This plan sets out a vision for a stable democracy with a robust and diversified economy, public service and strong state institutions, and prosperous society that provides jobs for our people. It covers 3 key areas: social capital, economic development, and infrastructure development. Investments in social capital aim to build a healthy and educated society, to address the social needs of our people. Investments in economic development will help Timor-Leste achieve a prosperous, modern economy and, most importantly, create jobs. We now have a comprehensive infrastructure plan for building ports, roads, airports, water and sanitation, as well as the transformation of our south coast into a regional petroleum hub. The development of our petroleum hub is called the Tassimane project. It is in our language. Tassimane means male sea because of its waves on the shores of our south coast. The Tassimane project will see the development of an open access marine facility and a liquefied natural gas plant. In the session before, we talked too much. We heard too much about gas. What is the future? This is our future also. A pipeline to our shores, an oil refinery and petrochemical industry, an industry supply base, and a 160 kilometers highway linking the three clusters. And finally, the upstream facility and operation, if it is necessary. Together, this project will leverage Timor-Leste's petroleum resources for the long-term benefit of our people. It will provide the foundation for our country to diversify our economy by building other strategic industry sectors, including agriculture, manufacturing, forestry, fisheries, and tourism. And I have to say, tourism is another strategic industry that we have set as a priority. Besides the tropical beauty of its mountains, Timor-Leste has great potential for niche tourism, markets such as scuba diving. And I hope you are all scuba diving lovers. And we hope also to drive growth in visitor numbers in the future, especially from the Middle East, because I see many people from Middle East in Bali, Denpasar. Ladies and gentlemen, Timor-Leste has plans for the development of our country through a diversified and sustainable economy. However, we know that our small island nation does not exist in isolation. With the benefit of learning from other countries and through partnerships within our region and around the world, it is what we are seeking, Timor-Leste has been able to build a sustainable development strategy. I believe we are well placed to avoid the perils of plenty and become a prosperous nation with a bright future. Timor-Leste hopes to be a good reference for other countries. We saw in the previous session, One Africa, 5 nations in Africa, and I went around Africa also to fragile, in conflict and post-conflict countries, and I understand them. For other countries with the same conditions and challenges, this is what is in what we face, the underdeveloped countries. But to ensure our example is a positive one, we look to your partnership now, at the critical moment of our country. This conference is a great example of how people from different countries can come together, and I believe also from oil companies, not only to share ideas and lessons they have learned to give us a better understanding of the future of this industry, but also to build partnerships of friendship, cooperation, and solidarity. I thank you very much.